Well, I just finished double stick taping this little guy on because it fell off and it had actually pulled the wires out of the radio, and then the radio obviously wasn't working super well without radio wires connected to it, so the truck stopped going forward. And while I did that, I went through and straightened out a couple other things. This bar needed to be adjusted because the turnbuckle was mashed all the way over here, and this turnbuckle here was mashed all the way over in the opposite direction. So what ended up happening is this couldn't flex at all. So I got them lined up now so that they're both centered out, and hopefully that'll allow this thing to, well, it can move now, whereas it couldn't move at all before. So that's got to be better. I mean, that's what those turnbuckles are for. So I went through and I inspected everything else just to make sure everything else was still wiggling, and that's when I discovered this, which I had not noticed before because Daniel's usually the one taking the unit apart. Something's not right here. So not only does that not have any movement at all, but this one's got movement, but it's going in the wrong direction. That can't possibly be right. So I guess we'll have to take that off and reposition it the way it's supposed to be. I mean, it doesn't seem to really affect the travel that much, but it doesn't look like it's in the right direction. I also have to fix these wires because these wires here are basically getting jammed into the spring each time. The ones up front are okay. It clears it. I mean, it doesn't clear it as much as I would like, and I mean, if this was a real vehicle, I would definitely not want any of my electrical lines running inside of the spring. That just doesn't seem like it'd be a good plan to me. But that's how it came. These are all little tweaks that we're going to do on this thing as time goes on. It is definitely quite the machine, though. That's for sure. We've converted him over so that he's using LiPo batteries. The battery that came with this, the nickel metal hydride that came with this originally, is absolutely useless. I mean, you could get probably maybe 15 minutes out of it before the thing started getting squirrely. Mostly manifesting itself in it wouldn't steer anymore. It would still drive forward and backward, but it wouldn't steer, and you'd have to keep retuning it every couple of minutes to get it back to where it was. And with the LiPo battery, it stays pretty much full strength until that thing dies, and he gets well over an hour. I mean, he's driving this thing all over the place. He's beating the living crap out of this machine. It's incredible. The gearing on this thing's fantastic. I wish I had a real vehicle like this. But a real vehicle like this would be really expensive, and as it's got no seat, that would kind of suck too. But yep, that's the updates on Daniel's truck. Just got a couple of things to do to tweak it, but other than that, this is how it came out of the box.